When you're working on a new profile on the Decent Espresso machine, if you use real coffee, you're going to go through a lot of it. And that's one of the reasons why we came up with the puck simulator basket, because we are developing profiles all the time. So the puck simulator basket is meant to simulate inexpensively as if you had coffee in here. And then you can run a profile and it will act like coffee without wasting coffee. And we make it in two sizes, a 0.2 millimeter and a 0.3 millimeter. And that corresponds to roughly a 1.2 milliliters per second flow rate, which is what a medium to dark roast espresso would be. And then the 0.3 hole is going to be about 2 milliliters per second, which is the more flow rate you'd have for a light roast coffee. So you can simulate both medium and light roasts. Now we also use these in order to calibrate the machines as we're doing pressure calibration or any other kind of adjustments. We don't want dirty coffee coming in and making everything variable. So every shot we do is the same with these. What we've got is the default profile up, and let's show that on the screen. And we're going to run the 0.3 basket here. Okay, what you can see is it's as if coffee was there, our pressure has built up, the puck is compressed, and now the flow rate is fairly slow. Now we're at a 1.1 mil flow rate, the pressure's coming down. You can see the brown line on the screen is touching the blue line. One of the uses for these baskets is to calibrate the flow rate on the Decent so that the scale, which is the brown line, is matching the blue line so that you know the internal flow meter is calibrated. And here we are doing a normal coffee recipe. So let's go ahead. Paul, could you swap the portafilters out? We're going to switch from the 0.2 to the 0.3 puck sim basket now. And we're going to rerun that default profile again so you can see the difference between those two sizes. Okay, and now there's the pressure going up, the flow rate going down, and you can see the brown and the blue line are touching. Once again, we're simulating what an espresso puck would actually do, and this is allowing us to create our profile. Now let's go to the top camera so you can see the two pucks. So here we are again with the 0.2 and 0.3. You can see it's just one tiny hole. Now I first tried to make these by using a blind basket and a nail and just banging a hole in, and what I found is any hole that I could make was just far too large. So these are created by a laser and they're calibrated exactly that size. Isn't it kind of amazing that 0.2 to 0.3 causes twice the flow rate, right? It's only 50% larger, but twice the flow rate. And each of these is meant to be the same. There's one other use that I occasionally make with these, and these are 24-gram baskets. And the reason that we chose 24 grams is so we could put aromatics in here. Because another way to think of these are pressurized baskets, right? You can put an ingredient inside here, and pressure is going to come up and then it's squirt out here. So I have put things like fresh mint in, rosemary, black pepper, and I've used that to make quick infusions. And with things that are more dusty, I put it into a tea bag that then keeps it from clogging that hole. So those are the various uses I've made of the puck sim. I don't think Paul, do you have any experience using these things?
Yes, I do, and it's great that it can simulate a puck, and it's really good if you want to dial in your D1 in one location, and maybe you take it home or to your friends or something, and you dial it in there and find that perhaps things may be tasting a little bit different.
That's a really good point. If you've got several machines, especially a cafe, you would use this in order to make sure that your profile is behaving the same on each one. If you were trying to do that with coffee, the variation between each puck would throw that experiment off.
Yes.
So that's a really good point.
And I really like it because it just almost standardizes it, and now that we have two different ones, one for dark and one for light, the 0.2 being for dark and the 0.3 for the lighter roast, you can really dial into the preference of the style of roast that you like. And that just gives you more flexibility and that extra little step towards getting that fantastic coffee.
Right, especially if I'm working on a profile that's got complicated if this, then this steps, and often I get it wrong the first time, so it's quite handy to actually run it for real and not have to do all the steps with the coffee. So this is a standard 58 millimeter basket. It also works on any other machine that takes 58 millimeter standard baskets, which is most of them out there. So if you have a need to simulate a coffee puck, this is the basket to do it. Thanks for watching.